Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rorschach's Comics Review. Today we're going to step out of the dark world of DC, where we've been doing most of our videos here recently, and step into the Marvel Universe with Marvel Civil War. Now, Civil War the book is very different from Civil War the movie. Mainly just the scale of characters is much greater, and some of the reasoning for why the war started is different as well. So, to begin with, the book opens up with a team called the New Warriors. They're mostly younger and less experienced superheroes, and they are rolling around with camera crews. Just think live PD, but with superheroes. And they stumble across a hideout where some more higher level villains are hiding. Well, they decide for ratings purposes, they're going to go ahead and try and track down these villains, even though they're way out of their league. And of course, in the ensuing chaos, a villain called Nitro, his power is he can spontaneously combust and survive. Blows up a school, kills a bunch of kids, severely injures or kills members of the New Warriors, and there's this big public outcry over the whole thing. And this is what leads the government to decide that, all right, if you have superpowers, if you're going to be a vigilante superhero type gig thing, you're going to work for us or go to jail. Those are your two options. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're going to register with us. You're going to be trained. Everybody's going to know who you are. And that's just how it is. And Tony Stark, of course, he's being the front man for the Avengers. He's taking on a lot of the public outcry himself because he's the one everybody thinks about. So he's showing up to these funerals, and these parents are spitting in his face, calling him all kinds of names. And, just how dare you do what you do with no accountability. And so he really takes it to heart. And then you have Captain America, who's like, yes, it's a tragedy, but we're not rounding everybody up. We don't have the right to take their names and tell everyone who they are, what they can do, and who's to say they want to do that? Okay, they have superpowers. Maybe they don't want to use them, Well, he's, of course, a high figure in S.H.I.E.L.D., and Maria Hill comes up to him and says, hey, I need the names and locations of all your buddies. And he's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. And so they try to arrest him. Of course, he escapes. Being Captain America, escapes, goes off on his own thing. And there's this great divide starting to form within the Avengers. You have the side that's pro-registration, which is mainly Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, Hank Pym, who in this book is not Ant-Man, he's Yellow Jacket and is having severe mental issues. And then the other side, you have guys like Daredevil. Of course, Captain America is leading it. Punisher joins them for a time. She-Hulk is in there. I don't remember which side she fights on, though. I'm not going to spoil it for you, though there is a couple deaths. Bruce Banner does not make an appearance. Neither does Thor, though there is a Thor clone who Tony Stark loses control of and murders a superhero. I'm not going to spoil it for you who that is, though. In this storyline is when Peter Parker announces to the world that I am Spider-Man, much to J. Jonah Jameson's chagrin. And then as the war turns, people are losing their lives. He's realizing, hey, maybe my side really doesn't have it all figured out. So he defects. And so Tony Stark's group with their nanobot-controlled supervillains, well, he sends their supervillains after him to go bring him back. And, of course, they nearly end up killing him. And the only reason he survived was the Punisher steps in and rescues him. And so, things go on. Reed Richards develops a prison for the superheroes called the Negative Zone, which it's basically sending people to the moon, but in a different dimension. And they're stuck there. They can't get out unless somebody on this side with the key lets them out. And so they start rounding up all these superheroes that don't want to conform or that they capture in battle. And it's where they're sticking them. Then Captain America's team, they organize this big jailbreak, get them all out. There's this big battle at the end. And as they're literally killing each other, Captain America realizes that this is not the way we're going to win. Yes, their side is wrong, our side is right, but we're not going to win the argument this way. And he surrenders and turns himself in. And that's how the story ends. Registration ends up passing. But there's still some groups, they're still off, they're rebelling, they're fighting it. They're not, it's not the huge scale war that it was. They're being superheroes, but no one is in charge of them. They do their own thing. Of course, the government's trying to track them down, and they're always it's kind of like the A-Team, really. Groups that are in the book, of course, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, the X-Men are in this one. Namor the Submariner is in it. Of course, New Warriors. Young Avengers. Punisher makes a show. It's a really great book. It's probably one of the best ones of the early 2000s that Marvel did. They tried a whole Civil War #2 thing here recently, which I read a good portion of, and it's just not the same. They were trying too hard with Civil War 2. But the first book, great. I highly recommend it. It's got most of your most popular Marvel characters are in it. So yeah, just pick it up, give it a try. Hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think in the comments and what other content you'd like to see on this channel. Have a good day. Bye.